Hello everyone. Let us start chapter 9 from the book Footprints Without Feet. The title of the chapter is Bholi. This chapter, Bholi, is written by Khwaja Ahmad Abbas, or popularly known as K.A. Abbas. Khwaja Ahmad Abbas was an Indian film director, screenwriter, novelist, and a journalist in Urdu, Hindi, and English languages. Since we are here in Panipat, so you people should feel elated and proud that such a renowned personality was born in Panipat when India was still under British rule. He was born on 7 June 1914 in Panipat and he died on 1st June 1987 in Mumbai. He has written so many books and has won many awards also, the list of which has been given here to us. Let's have an introduction to the lesson. Bholi, the story, is written by K.A. Abbas. The story revolves around a girl who, due to accidental fall and disease in her childhood, faces the problem of being dull and ugly. Basically, this story tries to sensitize us towards acceptance, towards the stereotypical views of beauty that this society holds, and it teaches us a very valuable lesson in humanity. The girl Bholi is always a target by everyone for not being good looking and intelligent, as most of human beings do. Whenever some people they find somebody not fair, somebody not looking too good and not too pretty or not too handsome, they would make fun of the people without even giving a consideration to the feelings of the person whom they are targeting or whom they are taunting. But we should realize that their life becomes a tragedy when we continuously keep on making fun of them just for their looks, which shall never be done. Her life, Bholi's life, turns when she joins a nearby school where her teacher encourages her and helps her to become a learned and confident person. Later in the story, circumstances arise where Bholi has to give acceptance to the marriage with an unequal match but rejects it when she sees her father pleading to the bridegroom when he demands dowry. Another social problem of those times has been talked about here in this story. Actually, none of those times, this problem still persists in our society, and we never know when we Indians are going to get rid of this problem. The story shows the rise of a girl against social justice. So, as the title tells, Bholi, which means innocent, which means simpleton, which means somebody who doesn't have probably worldly knowledge. That is why in Hindi we call that person Bhola if a boy and Bholi if a girl. Her real name was Sulekha, but since her childhood, everyone had been calling her Bholi, the simpleton, normally known to be a foolish person who can be easily tricked by others. So, the protagonist of the story, she was not born to be named as Bholi, she was born and she was given a beautiful name, Sulekha. But when she was a little child, at birth, she was very fair and pretty, just suiting the norms of the society because society always wants children to be fair and pretty. So she was like that. But when she was 2 years old, she had an attack of smallpox, and only the eyes were saved, but the entire body was permanently disfigured by deep black pockmarks. Pockmark means scars or spots. Chickenpox is such a disease which leaves scars on the body. Thereby, if we go by the definition of proper beauty, disfiguring the beauty. So the same thing happened with Bholi. And to top of it, what happened? She fell off her cot when she was only 10 months old, and some part of her brain got damaged. and she couldn't get a fully developed mind. That is why she came to be known as Bholi by everyone. Little Sulekha could not speak till she was 5, just because her part of brain was damaged. And when at last she learned to speak, she stammered. Stammering when somebody has a very great problem in uttering words. This happens when person lacks in confidence. This happens when a person has not got enough compassion or love from the dear ones of the family members, or it may be some emotional turmoil that has caused this problem of stammering. But we all might have seen people, those who stammer. So she also used to stammer. She couldn't pronounce the words quickly and easily. The other children of her age and even older than her, they used to make fun of her and mimicked her. This is another usual human behavior which is really to be checked and to be improved, that we shall never make fun of others for their any discomfort or for their any ailment, because we never know when maybe it may be our chance to have the same thing. So we shall be compassionate enough. As a result, she talked very little because she knew if she would talk, others would start mimicking her and they would make fun of her. As far as her father, Nambardar Ramlal, his name was concerned, it was a prosperous farmer's household. And there were plenty to eat and drink because obviously he was a government official. He had 7 children, and all the children except Bholi were healthy and strong. She had her own story of ailments, that's why she wasn't. Ramlal had 7 children, 3 sons, 4 daughters, and the youngest of them was Bholi. The sons had been sent to the city to study in schools and later in colleges. These were the times when girls were not usually sent to the schools. Girls' education was not something which parents or many of the parents ever took care of. It came very late when social reformers and government officials, they started raising their voice and showing their concern that girls should be equally educated. As far as Ramlal's daughters was concerned, so of his daughters, Radha, the eldest one, had already been married. The second daughter, Mangla, her marriage had also been settled, and when that was done, means the second daughter got married, Ramlal would think of the third. Her name was Champa. All the 3 daughters, except Bholi, were good looking, healthy girls, and it was not difficult to find bridegrooms for them. So Ramlal was not at all worried about 3 daughters, but Ramlal was worried about Bholi. She had neither good looks nor intelligence. Bholi was 7 years old when Mangla was married, the second daughter, and the same year a primary school for girls was opened in the school in their village. Sorry, so this was the first time that a primary school for girls was opened in their village. The Tehsildar, he is a district collector, he's a district official. The Tehsildar Sahib came to perform the opening ceremony of the school. And Tehsildar is superior to a Nambardar, means he is the boss if we talk in that terms, and Nambardar is his subordinate. He said to Ramlal, as a revenue official, you are the representative of the government in the village, and so you must set an example to the villagers. So, because the Tehsildar came to inaugurate the school and he wanted to set an example for the villagers so that they could send their girls to school so that they could receive education, he said to Ramlal that because Ramlal was a revenue officer and he was a representative of the government in the village. So the Tehsildar wanted Ramlal to send his own daughters to school so that other villagers could also follow the example. That night, when Ramlal consulted his wife, she cried, are you crazy? If girls go to school, who'll marry them? See, this was the wrong thinking. This was the taboo because a mother thought if girls would be educated, there would be a big problem in them getting married. So she outrightly rejected the idea of sending her daughters to school. But Ramlal had not the courage to disobey the Tehsildar. Being an officer, being a government officer, Ramlal did not have the courage to disobey his superior, who was Tehsildar. At last, his wife said, I'll tell you what to do. Send Bholi to school. If at all they had to send their daughters to school, she suggested why not to send Bholi to school, because what she thought, she said, as it is, there is little chance of her getting married with her ugly face and lack of sense. Let the teachers at school worry about her. When a mother would think such about her daughter, who else is going to change the fate of the girl? So these were the thoughts of the mother, because she herself was uneducated. She herself was not compassionate enough. She herself did not have enough knowledge that only having a pretty face is no merit for a marriage or any alliance. But she, because had been brought up in such a society, so she thought this way, and she said to her husband that already Bholi has ugly face and she doesn't have any common sense. So why shall we worry about her all the life? Let the teachers worry about her, and they decided to send Bholi to school. The next day Ramlal caught Bholi by the hand and said, Come with me, I'll take you to school. But little Bholi was frightened because she had never heard anything about school. She did not know what a school was like. She remembered how a few days ago their old cow Lakshmi had been turned out of the house and sold. So when her father took her hand and was trying to drag her to the school, she got scared because she correlated the incident of their cow Lakshmi sold out to somebody. When the cow was being dragged out of the house, she thought she is also being sold, or she is also being dragged out of the house. Because she was very innocent, she did not have any senses actually, so she got scared and frightened to go to school, and she started shouting in terror, no, no, no. This has been written this way because we were told earlier that she used to stammer. So this is the way she used to stammer. She couldn't pronounce even this little word no, which is a monosyllabic word. She couldn't pronounce it at a go. She had to stammer, and she pulled her hand away from her father's grip. What's the matter with you, you fool? Shouted Ramlal. I'm only taking you to school. Her father got irritated and he scolded her. He said, Why are you behaving foolishly, you little girl? I'm only taking you to school. I'm not taking you elsewhere. Then he told his wife, Let her wear some decent clothes today, or else what will the teachers and the other schoolgirls think of us when they see her? So, such was the condition of this little girl Bholi at her own house that nobody took care of her. First advantage, that she herself was very innocent. Second disadvantage was there were so many brothers and sisters, so nobody took care of her. Nobody had actually time to take care of her. She was hardly given a bath, or she was actually not given any washed clothes to wear. Nobody ever bothered about her to have a bath or wear nice and refreshed clothes. So, this was probably one of the rarest chances when she was asked by her father that she should be given decent clothes that day, because that was a matter of his reputation. Otherwise, what the teachers and the girls think of them, that despite being the daughter of Nambardar, she doesn't have good clothes to wear. Otherwise, when she was living at home, nobody took care of her. New clothes had never been made for Holi. The old dresses of her sisters were passed on to her, which is normally a custom in all the households, that when one child outgrows the clothes, if the child has a younger sister, if girl has a younger sister, so the dresses are passed on to her. So similar happened with Bholi. No one cared to mend or wash her clothes. If she had torn or tattered clothes, she would be left wearing those clothes only. No one would care to mend them or to wash them properly. But today she was lucky to receive a clean dress which had shrunk after many washings and no longer fitted Champa, the third daughter of Ramlal the Nambardar. So today she was lucky enough to receive a clean and washed dress, which was shrunk dress of her elder sister Champa. She was even bathed and oil was rubbed into her dry and matted hair. So probably this was first time when she was given a proper bath and her hair was oiled properly. They were combed properly and she was feeling so good, so nice. Only then did she begin to believe that she was being taken to a place better than her home. So, this nice treatment of bathing and getting the hair oiled and combed and wearing new and fresh clothes, it gave her a feeling as if she was going to a better place. So, this time she readily got prepared to go to school. Rest we shall read in the next part.